I just need 2 minutes of your time. It's going to start with one 10-year slang story, and then it's going to get into all the chaos and beauty that's happening in the world at the moment. I grew up going to church. I have listened to thousands and thousands of sermons. People growing up had actual hobbies. Mine was going to church. I went in the morning, I went in the evening, all day Sunday. I was the first to arrive, the last to leave. And within that time, I've heard thousands of talks of people explaining truths from the Bible. That's my story. It's just the cards I was dealt. And when I was 22, I went to Bible school. And in my second year of Bible school, there was a module that I did on power and oppression, where it looked into different things that were happening through in the world and how people were oppressed, etc, etc. And after all the things that I'd heard in my youth, all the growing up, all the hobbies and the stuff that I called church, everything that I'd heard, it took to 22 years old where I heard for the first time that a black man carried the cross up the hill for Jesus. In Luke's Gospel, it records that a man called Simon of Cyrene carries the cross for Jesus because he's too tired to do so, all the way up to Golgotha, where Jesus eventually dies. Now, I think first off, that's weird. I never heard about this dude Simon of Cyrene. But secondly, if I did hear about this guy Simon of Cyrene, how poetic, how symbolic would it be that this guy carries a cross on Jesus' behalf, and what it shows for the plight of the black people, that they've had to carry this burden of racial inequality and racial injustice the whole time of their life, and somehow this symbolises Christ. That's an important fact. It's something that I wish I'd heard when I was younger, but I didn't. You have heard so much on the last 2 weeks on social media about how Black Lives Matter, and they really do matter. But I think the truth in this moment, before we are pushed into activism, has to be one of self-reflection. It must be us looking at our own lives, you, me, youth, family, whoever you are, and making this assertion and going, what is the stuff that's in my own life which has led to black people feeling like they don't matter? How have I been guilty in this regard? And honestly, when I reflect back on my own life, there has been times and places where I haven't done that. I love hip-hop music, I love rap music, but honestly sometimes I've rapped along with words and said words that now I regret that it was wrong to do so. I've partaken in jokes and at school and in work sometimes that have been demeaning to other races. I have sometimes been hostile to the idea of immigrants, and I have also sometimes been hostile to people in general for no other reason for them being different than me. And I own that as something that I've done that is wrong. That's my stuff. That is my cross to bear. And I say that to you publicly in some sort of way because I say before we make this giant leap into activism, we have to say, what is our stuff? Own it. We have to say that black lives haven't always mattered to us. And that as embarrassing it is to say, and as publicly as you need to say it sometimes. So I challenge you, young people, to look within your own life back over the times and think upon how black lives haven't mattered to you before. Has there been times and instances where you have done stuff that has hurt other people? Have you sang along with words that you shouldn't have? Have you not looked in the way of injustice? Have you closed your eyes? God bless you, folks. See ya.